Well, hey, and welcome back. Today, you notice, don't have nothing to cook. Well, I do have stuff to cook. But this video is not about cooking. It's about what to cook on, I guess you'd say. This unit right here, this pellet grill, griddle combo, I've had for a little over a year now. And I wanted to have it for at least a year before I did another review and kind of overview of what I do like, what I don't like, what I can deal with, what I love about it, everything. Also, I'm going to show you how to clean it, to clean the pellet grill, especially that part. I've had several comments here lately, especially, how do you clean it? What's involved? So we're going to go through that. It's a pretty simple process. It's not that difficult to go through all this, but that's what we're going to do today. So without any further ado, let's get started and check this thing out. So let's start off with the griddle itself. Pretty straightforward. As you see, I need to clean my grease gate back here. Blackstone does sell those in a kit, but we'll take that off of there right now just because it looks bad. But if you notice, yes, I need to re-season and redo this griddle as my seasoning's starting to get kind of wore down, kind of different flaking off here and there. Overall, I mean, it looks really good. It's a good shiny coat to it. But as you see, we'll give you a little up close look at it. You know, sometimes your seasoning just gets that way. But we're not going to focus too much on that. We're going to come over here to the pellet grill. Now, I didn't clean it up for this video because that's what I'm going to do in this video. As you can see, my last cook on here, some of the stuff is still on the grates. The grease pan down here needs cleaning. Just overall, just a general cleaning is what it needs. It's not really bad, but it needs a good cleaning. But before we get into cleaning this thing, let me show you some of the things I like, some of the pros and cons of it, I guess you'd say. A big pro, I would say, it does have, as you see, they're not hooked up now, but you can take these temperature probes right here and plug them right in here, and they will automatically read. As you see, I have one close here to this internal temperature reader right here, the thermostat temperature probe. I put one here just to start to see how close the two temperatures are. And then, of course, I have this other one here that I use to regulate whatever I'm cooking. And there is room for up to 4 probes on this. So that's one thing I do like. Another thing I do like is this fold-away shelf right here that just comes right back out. So there's no need to take this completely out of the grill if you need more room. You can just kind of push it back. It's hard to do with one hand. There you go. And just tuck it in. As you see, it's got little slots up. I'm trying to get where you can see better. Maybe this side. There you go. Right there, they hang on that. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier to keep that in there because a lot of times I lose my other ones, misplace them, got to take them out. Where do you set them? Whatever. Well, on this unit, you can keep them in. Now, another thing I love is this shelf here. I love it. It's kind of love-hate kind of thing, honestly. I love that it's right here and not on the side over there. I can put my food down right here, put it right in. The thing I wish was designed a little differently is when you let the lid down, as you see, there's not a lot of room right here. So when you bring your food over here initially, you got to kind of be careful of hitting the handle. It's not a make or break situation, but it is something to take into consideration. Now, that's not a make or break thing for me. A lot of grills don't even have that shelf. So having that shelf there is a big plus. Being the handle's there in the way, it's not a big deal. I can still work around that, still have a shelf there. And the shelf, as you see, is very sturdy. So, yeah, I think it's a plus to have that shelf there. Now, being the grill and griddle are real close together, this spot right down in here can catch food, especially coming off the griddle if you get to slinging your hibachi or your fried rice too much or whatever. It's not a big deal. You can kind of reach down in there as you see. So normally what I do is take a paper towel and some tongs. Let me grab some tongs real quick. And I can just reach down in there like this and just clean out this whole crevice right through here. Another feature, as you see, I have folded down because if you watch any of my videos, you notice on my tool chest right here, I keep all my griddle tools, cooking tools, seasonings, all kind of stuff in here. Just for lack of room, but it makes it a lot nicer. I can fold down this shelf right here if your space is kind of tight. So that is another plus that I do like about this grill and griddle. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people from the get-go have noticed a temperature difference from what the reading is to the actual temperature in the unit. And I have to say, I did have that problem at first. But the more I used it, it's almost like it calibrated, the better it got. And if you notice, like I said earlier, I put that other temperature probe close to the other probe just to see the difference. And honestly, it was less than 10 degrees the whole cook. So it has gotten a lot better, and it's kind of calibrated and regulated itself out. While we're on the subject of the pellet grill, you may be wondering, well, where's the grease bucket? Well, if you look right down here, there it is, hanging right there. So it is under this shelf. You can lift this shelf up, and you can open this door and have really, really easy access to it. But speaking of doors, you also have a door over here for your propane. So now it is time to get into cleaning the grill. Like I said, I didn't clean it from the last cook. I normally clean it after no more than 2 cooks go by. I go ahead and clean the unit back up because it's really fairly simple to clean. Let me show you how to do it. Paper towels. You're gonna need some paper towels. I like to take them and just kind of lay them out like right here. Hopefully it ain't too windy of a day. If it is, it's not a big deal. You can just kind of take them and flip it over because you see they want to stay curled up and not do right. But that's okay. Then I'll just take something and just lay right there. So now we'll reach around and get our grates. Move our probes out of the way. Just let them hang off the side here. Reach in here and grab your grate. And just lay it right here. Grab our other grate and lay it right there. That's simple. Now these grates here I do love. These are cast iron grates. These aren't the Teflon coated grates. These are cast iron. So the more cook on them, the more they get seasoned. I love that. Now we have this drip tray to take out. It just lifts right out. Comes right over here, and I just usually set it down right on top there. Then we have this heat deflector that just lifts right out. And I will also just lay it right there. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of dust down in here. We want to get all that cleaned up. As you see down here in the fire pot, a lot down there also. So grab your little shop vac and you start using that. That's what I do. And so all I really use, I have a little small shop vac, kind of made for your car. Picked this up at Walmart, real super cheap. That's all you need, something a little small like this. And then you just get in here and clean it all out. Get down here in this fire pot, and get all these ashes out. Don't take long at all to clean this up. I think the last thing I cooked was a Boston butt. Yeah, it cooked for about 12 hours, maybe 14. And I had cleaned it before this. So it ain't got to be perfect, clean, like brand new again. But yeah, get all the dust and stuff you can out of it. We'll take this old tin foil here out of this drip tray. We'll get this out of here. We'll replace that, put new in there. Get under here and get that out, and them ashes and stuff out, all that dust. I think it looks fairly decent. Don't have to be perfect, just has to be most of it up. That's all. And so there you go. As you see, most of it's up now. We got to put new tin foil down because the drip pan actually sits on this shelf and sits in here, and the grease will drain down, come in this trough, and go out. There's a hole right here that goes down to that grease bucket. So I like to line this in foil also. So I have a big box of foil here. The heavy duty foil is actually better to use and a lot easier to use. So we'll just rip off a piece like this. Actually, it's a very big piece, and we're just gonna put it in that tray over here. Because I like to kind of line this wall a little bit also. So what I do is I take it and just tuck it back in like that. And then rip a hole where the grease can drain out through that hole right there. There you go. Now we need to clean the diffuser. And I'll just take this Blackstone degreaser right here. Works really, really well. And just spray it down. You can let it soak if you want to. It's up to you, whatever. Grab some paper towels. I might have to go get some more here in a minute. And just wipe it. Again, it's kind of like the bottom of the grill. It don't have to be perfect, but look how nasty that is, y'all. But you do want to get it just cleaned up. Clean grill is a happy grill. Wipe it all down one more time. Good enough. Again, does not have to be perfect. And there you go. Diffuser's clean, so let's put that back in. And this doesn't have any notches or anything to set in. It pretty much just sets in place. So we'll just set it right back over that like that right there, and it's done. Now is where it gets a little dirtier. We got to clean this drip tray. I say dirtier. It's kind of easy to do when you got foil on it. You can get all the foil off of it. There we go. And I just take it and fold it over kind of like this. Get this off this back side right here. Do the same. Fold it over, and there you go. It's ready for new foil. So what I'm going to do is get a big piece of foil here, and I don't measure this. Maybe I should, but I don't. And pull it up like this. Try not to tear it when I rip it off here. There we go. Did a good job. Look at me go. Now, we will just take it. The thing I like about this foil that I'm using here, and try to get your extra wide foil. That way it fits from side to side. And you just tuck it over like this. Tuck it back under. If you poke a hole in it like that, it's not a big deal. For general purposes, you just want to try to keep your grill clean. And there you go. Just like that. And this thing right here is ready to go back in now. So let's get that in. Now, unlike the heat shield, this does go in a specific way. You have a lip on this side, and of course you see this big lip on this side. So it goes in just like this. There's a lip right here, and your trough right here. So the small lip goes on this side, and that trough goes in there, and it just sits right in place like that right there. So now that's done. Now we come down to these dirty grates. I mean, look at the buildup I have on here from where I cooked that pork butt, pork shoulder. Just relatively nasty. So I'm going to take these out in the yard and just scrape them down with a grill brush. That simple. So yeah, on these grates, I mean, you can use a degreaser or whatever. I don't recommend that because they are cast iron. And you want to keep that seasoning on there to keep them from rusting. But you want to get off any kind of heavy chunks of grease, barbecue, whatever may be left over that you don't want on your next cook. Just scrape it off. Looks good to me. What about you? I think it looks great. You get it? Great. It looks great. I'm sorry. Dad jokes all day. And so now that your grates are clean, hey, but one thing to do, and that's put them back in place. And they are super simple to put back in. It's a lip at the back and a lip at the front. They just sit right in there. Just like this. There you go. Grates are in. Pellet grill's clean. That's how easy it is to do this. And there it is. For the most part, this grill is back clean. Show what it looks like, all cleaned up and pretty. So yeah, this grill, it is back ready to use again. That easy. Now, one thing I did want to mention as I clean up, you might be wondering why I didn't scrape the grates off while they were in the grill. You can, but then you got to lift them up and scrape down that backside also. To me, it's just easier to go ahead and take them out in the yard, take them somewhere you don't mind a lot of grease being or wherever, and just scrape them off there. And I honestly can't stress enough how important it is to keep the pellet grill clean of any grease, extra dust that may be in there. All pellet grills get this way. This one's no different than other pellet grills as far as that aspect goes. The cleaning method may be a little bit different, but overall, the need to clean is the same. So remember that. It's very important to keep your pellet grill clean. I mean, why wouldn't you want to cook on something like this right here? I mean, that looks brand new. It looks ready to cook on. And that's what you want. Well, I hope I answered a lot of your questions about pros and cons. There's a whole lot of cons to this. Just like, say, cleaning in between right here a little bit. It's not a con. It's just something you got to be aware of because food will get trapped right there. You got to take a paper towel and wipe it out. Like I say, the handle right here, as far as the shelf goes, it's not necessarily a con. It's just something to be aware of. There's a lot more pros than anything negative with this. So if you're looking for this and you want to see the full overview of it, I have a video of where I did that a year ago when I first got it. I've been asking a lot of people's been asking me a lot how to clean it. So I've been waiting about a year now so I can get the feel for this whole thing, see what I do like, see what I don't like, and I can do a cleaning also. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it really helped. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll try my best to answer them and maybe make another video of them. Hope you enjoyed this video and be sure to subscribe because there's a lot of great cooks going on. We got a lot of things going on here. Some more new equipment's coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next time.